This is MikeBot. Welcome to the Designer Showcase series. I will be showcasing a new designer every month, and for February of 2024, I will be showcasing Megil. I first met Megil on Cults 3D. Basically, I purchased a few of his Pokemon files, and I ran into an issue with one of his files at one point. So I reached out to him, and he corrected the issue for me within 2 weeks and had the new file for me ready to print. Since then, I've kept in touch with him on and off, and recently had a conversation with him about showcasing his files and maybe giving him a little bit of a boost and more credit because he is a really good designer. So as part of the collaboration for the showcase with Megil, we're going to be offering everyone 10% off of all his files on Cults, so check in the description below for the promo code. So let me get started. So a little bit about Megil. So he's a real-time 3D artist, real-time meaning for video games. He works in the simulation industry, and he has several different social media links, which I'm going to show everybody in just a second. He also has an artisan page, but he doesn't update it frequently, but I will showcase it to everyone anyway. So I asked Megil what are his inspirations. So for him, it's Pokemon. And one of his favorite games is Zelda, as well as the Elder Scrolls and World of Warcraft. He's also planning to make Digimon in the future, and files similar to his Stone Dragon, which I will be printing and showcasing probably in this video, if not video 2 of his series. And one of his greatest things is the articulated Pokemon. His kids were his inspiration to do Pokemon since they love it, and from there, he's just been creating them left, right, and center, and he does an outstanding job with them. So I'm going to start with his Cults page. So as you can see, he does update frequently. His most recent ones are articulated Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Snowman. They're really cute. He has them priced $3.63 Canadian, but with a 10% coupon, it helps a little bit. He's also got Bulbasaurs, Phantump, Shuppet, like he's got a little bit of everything. I'm just going to scroll through really slowly here for everyone. I've actually bought his Ponyta. I bought his Mew. And I believe I bought 2 or 3 other files. I will see in a second here. I can't see them. I'm gonna have to censor this one out. I don't think YouTube will allow that. But basically, as you can see, he's got quite a few files on here. So over on his Instagram page, he showcases a lot of his images. He uses a nice background remover to make sure the photos look really great. He's got Hitmonlee. So how did I run into him specifically? I was looking for a bunch of Pokemon to print for my kids, and there were some missing with the other designers, so I searched and I eventually ran into Megil, because he had files that others don't have, like Ponyta, for example. He also has some, I don't have an Instagram account, he also had Snorlax, Zapdos, Articuno. Those don't exist with too many other designers, so he's including those in his files, which is nice. So his Patreon page is basically how you get your commercial license going. So on here, the commercial license is not included. It makes sense, but if you go to his Patreon and you join, he does include the commercial license, and he is in France, so everything is in French, but I'm pretty sure there's a translate to English button. And while I'm there, I might as well show everyone my Patreon page. So I've recently launched my Patreon page as well. You can join for free if you want to get some of the really cool stuff, like the behind the scenes, the uncensored stuff, the bloopers, the full videos. Sometimes I can't put the full videos on YouTube because they're just too long. I will be posting them on my Patreon page. So you can get started for as little as $2 a month. And with $2 a month, I will include the behind the scenes videos and all that stuff as well. If you just want to support me because you enjoy my videos, it's $2 a month. That's a cup of coffee a month, and it's greatly appreciated. So I also have a few other ones. I'm also working on 3D designs myself. I'm gonna probably keep this at $8 Canadian. Eventually it might go up to 10, but basically everything I design will be included with a commercial license. And the price is gonna remain fixed for life. I'm not gonna change it, and it's just my way of saying thank you to everyone. I also offer a premium exclusive membership, which gives you 3D printing tutorials and lessons. I also do one-on-ones with you. I got my mystery boxes. If you want to have a mystery box shipped to your house, get that package, and it says 60 bucks a month Canadian, but really I'm giving you anywhere between $75 to $300 worth of stuff in the box, and that's with shipping included too. And then if you want to do the designer feature, I've started that as well for $150 a month, or you can just hit shop and do a one-time package. I do offer the designer feature for free for the time being, but over time that's going to change because these videos do cost me a lot of money to make. Not only does it cost me time, it also costs. There's also a cost with the editing software. There's a cost with the promotion. The list goes on. These videos, although they're free for you to watch, they're not free to me. They do cost me money. So that's why subscribing and helping out in any way you can is greatly appreciated. And that's also the reason why designers like Megil and everyone else have their subscription, because it does take a lot of time and it's a lot of work to do stuff like this. Anyway, so moving forward, so I'll show you his artisan page that he has. So Megil's name is actually Florian. So this is the artisan page he's got, and apparently I didn't type it in right. I'll try that again. There we go. And as he mentioned, there's not much on here yet, but he does plan to expand on it pretty soon. So anyway, that's it for basically showing his social media stuff. Now let me get started with the files. So the files I will be focusing on are going to be Abra, Phantump, Pikachu Snowman, Mimikyu, and the Stone Dragon right here. I also have a Crystal Onyx one actually that I should show off, and by Onyx I meant Steelix, the Mega Steelix. So I'm probably going to showcase these in my video. So I'll do the Abra walkthrough, the Phantump, the Pikachu Snowman, the Mimikyu, the Flexi Crystallized Dragon, and the Mega Steelix. I might include Mew, because that's how this entire thing started with Megil. But I'm not sure yet. We'll see. Depends on how long these videos are and how many I do. Usually I like to do 2 videos in the series. I was going to do 3 for 3D Print Bunny, but ran into some issues, so she only got 2 videos. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and download these files. We'll get them going in Bambu Studio. I'm going to color them. His files aren't 3MF friendly, so I'm going to get to use my tablet, and I'm really excited about it, actually. I might point a camera on the tablet as I'm coloring. I'm not sure yet. We'll see. It all depends on the time I have to do this. So I will color all his files in Bambu Studio, which is going to be really fun. And then I will slice them with the settings that I use for his files, and then I'll showcase them once they're printed. So if you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave them below, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And I'll also reach out to Megil if you have questions for him, or you can reach out to him directly now that you have his pages. So look in the description below for all his social links, for all my social links, and for that promo code, of course. Alright, let's get started. So I've loaded up the first file here, which is the Stone Dragon. I'm going to go ahead and start this one actually right now because I do have the proper filament loaded in for this. I'm going to be using marble infused filament. So for the marble infused filament, no special settings are required. I'm just going to go with the generic PLA. I'm going to change the settings here. Instead of extrafying, let's just go with standard. Boost it up to, I don't know, 3 walls is good. And go with 10%. And let's do gyroid. I don't think this is going to need supports. Doesn't look like it. Let's slice and see. Typically these dragons don't need supports for the most part. But this one does, it looks like, so let's go ahead and investigate here. Okay, so I am going to include supports. It's only 109 grams, 6 hours. Let's go with normal supports for this one. Slice again. Just to investigate here. Oof, that's going to be a nasty one. Now, realistically, I probably don't need supports, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just because. And I'm just going to go ahead and send that straight to my P1P. Now, I forgot to change this to white. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's all generic PLA anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and send this straight to my printer. Once it's done printing, I'll do what I usually do. And I'll go through the entire quality of the product and everything once I've removed the supports. I might include a support removal video clip. We'll see. So I'm going to send that off right now. Confirm. And then I'm going to go ahead and open up another copy of Bambu Studio right now. Okay, this one is sent. New project. And let's load Abra. Abra's 2 files, the body and tail. Click no. Arrange that like so. And I see what he's done here. Might need to glue that tail on afterwards right here. Probably some hot glue or crazy glue. I'm not sure yet. So for this one, I definitely need to color it. So what I will do is let's just unselect all that. Select just the Abra, hit color. And I'm fairly certain that this one is not going to be very friendly with coloring, so I might need to use that tablet of mine. Actually, maybe. This might actually be friendly, that I can just use my mouse. Let me see what Abra looks like. Okay. Might be able to do Abra today as well. So I'm going to move the screen over to the side here. And from here, let me start by changing the printer. So that one is now occupied. We'll go with my P1S. And I'm going to need basically a dark yellow, beige, and brown. So this one here is going to be yellow. I'll make this one. This one's most likely going to be Bambu PLA. So I'll hit Bambu PLA Basic and see if I can find a beige here. I can't. So custom color. And that's beige-ish enough. And then slot 3 is empty, but this one here will change it to brown. Because it's got the Bambu filament, it's not going to let me change it. But anyway, there's ways around that. I'm just going to go here, resync. Change that to the P1S 0.4 nozzle. Hit add filament. And then we're going to change that to brown. Now back to my color tab. So the default is yellow. So now let's make Abra's upper body brown. Some gaps to fill in here. So where's that gap fill? That takes care of that mess. Grab this. Hit some brown here. Grab the color tool. Zoom in, make it a little bigger, and just slowly color Abra up in the missing areas here. Now, for the most part, this stuff is going to be really small. You're not really going to see it on the print. Like this stuff here you might see, so make sure you cover it all up. But keep in mind as well, if you do miss any little areas, it's going to trigger a filament change on your printer. And make sure to repeatedly click the mouse, otherwise if you have to undo something, it becomes a mess. So what I mean by that, so let's say I was coloring like this, and then I make a mistake like that. If I click Control Z, I just lost everything. But if I just click repeatedly, then that's 4 different undos. And that's what I mean by make sure you click repeatedly. Let me just make sure nothing is missed here. So as I mentioned, this stuff isn't the friendliest to color, but it's far from the worst. And Abra's very standard. It's just 3 or 4 colors. It's not overly complicated to color, so that's why I'm doing Abra first. And now I need to do the front of the nose and the ears, and then I will focus on the tail, which just has one brown spot. So we'll hit some beige here. Go back to this tool. Do that. Zoom in, make sure it looks decent. It does. Now go to the other ear, same thing. As well, if you guys end up buying this file from Megil, reach out to Megil and I'll send him the colored files, and you can just use my colored files as well. And that's just, I'll do that as a favor for everyone. Now I can take this up a notch and make the eyes black if I want it to be super accurate. And I'm kind of leaning towards that right now. So I'll just think about that for a minute. But before I do, I want to make sure I get Abra's mouth with the correct colors. I wonder what the inside of Abra's mouth looks like. I'm probably just going to leave it yellow. It'll just be easier. So now for the beige. This one's going to be tricky. There's no separation here, so I'm going to have to hand paint it. Let me just make the tool bigger here. Zoom in. And I need to eye this out. So shrink the tool. If I was to eye this out, I think Abra's nose is something like that. I'll show you why I'm doing that right now. It just makes it easier to color like this. That's a little shortcut you can take. And I will fix it all up in a minute. I just have to fill all this in slowly, just really roughly, just to get an idea of what I'm doing here. The inside of Abra's mouth is still kind of... I'm not sure what color it is, and I just made a mistake. Okay, I'm going to finish coloring this. I'll speed through this part, and then I'll get right to the tail. Alright, so I ended up using my tablet to do Abra. I will try to use this tablet on camera for the next part of the coloring. By the next part, I'll try to use the tablet for the next model so you can see how I've done this. Without this tablet, this would have sucked. So anyway, there's Abra. Now I'm going to do the tail really quick because the tail should be easier. I believe the tail is just one brown color about here. So let's grab that tool. And there. I believe that's it for the brown on Abra. And Abra's good to go. So now I'm going to send this over to my P1S. I'm going to take note of my patterns here. Send this over to the P1S. Print that off. And then I will start the next prints. And because I'm doing color, I'm going to try to rotate everything and make it all fit on one plate. So let me just do that here. Come on, you should be able to fit everything. Sometimes it's a little finicky, but I can make it work, don't you worry. So we'll hit that to 90 degrees. 90. Tail 1 will go here. Tail 2 will go there for a second. Abra here. Wait a sec. You can fit both Abras right here. Whoops. Okay, so if I offset this Abra and that Abra, and this tail here can get rotated 90. This should work. So again, we're going to do 3 strength for this one. 10%. Not cubic, gyroid. And then I will definitely be enabling supports. But more importantly, I want a brim for this one. Do an inner and outer brim just to be safe. Slice plate. I don't know if this hand is too far off. So while that slices, I'm going to check on the stone dragon here. It's coming along, so I can safely close that, save it. I'll get another copy of Bambu Studio open here. And let me load up Pikachu Snowman next. Let's arrange this. This one should be easy. Alright, so Abra is sliced. I am going to send this to my printer. We'll arrange those colors accordingly. And then I'm going to call it a night because it's getting late for me. And I will resume this video tomorrow. And as usual, this is going to look like one big video to you. But to me, it's been filmed over 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, that's sent now. I'm going to go take a picture of the filament on the Bambu Studio here so I know which order to put everything in. Start that print, and I will resume the remainder of the prints tomorrow. Or in your case, in the next 10 seconds. Now it's time for Pikachu. So here's what Pikachu looks like. Now I will color Pikachu. So this one will be fairly easy actually, because there's not much. Oops, I had sliced by accident. So Pikachu, start with the head here, change filament to yellow. The color tool. Now we'll see if I can just do this effortlessly. Grab some white here. Give Pikachu's nose some color. Okay, we'll try that again. So there's Pikachu's face, and now we'll just do the tail quickly. I'm going to split Pikachu up onto different plates here. Just to reduce the amount of filament changes. Okay, and now I'm going to just slice all of this. And that's Pikachu. So now I'm going to open another copy of Bambu Studio here. And I'm going to just race through all of these really quick because there is quite a few to do. So for the most part, I will be just using standard settings, nothing special. And I'm just trying to showcase basically the different prints. So I'm just going to do Mega Steelix here really quick. I'm not going to make these ones as long as the Abra print. I don't want this video to be extremely long, so that's why I'm just gonna race through these really quick. So that's what Mega Steelix looks like. Basically, he's silver with blue. And he's done the crystals here. You know what? I'm going to do the crystals in transparent filament. And then, so what I'll do is I'm going to do a second plate here. Just move Mega Steelix over there. Arrange this. Go to my X1C. And we're just going to call this one white, but it's actually transparent. So these ones here are going to be transparent. And the Mega Steelix, I'm just going to color really quick here. So I'm going to make Mega Steelix with my Polymaker Galaxy filament, which is very expensive. And we'll call it this for now. Change that to gray. Adjust the strength to 3. In case we need supports, I'll do tree. Slice that. Let's go back and see Mega Steelix. He's ready to go. We'll send that all off to my X1C. Get another copy of Bambu Studio open. And I might just do one more. I think I'm going to do Phantump. I'm going to skip Mimic You. So that's what Phantump looks like. So the tail is black, simple, change filament to black. The leaves are all green. Okay, let me just go to color. And I'm just going to film myself using my tablet here, assuming I need to. Let me see. It's black. The only other thing is black eyes. And then get rid of the white. Make it red. And his smile is black. So sad. Poor little guy. Okay. Okay. I think that's what Phantump looks like. Alright, I'm going to send these off to my printer. And then I'll show you what the finished print looks like. And we'll wrap up the February Designer Series. So what I've decided to do for Mimic You, I'm actually going to make another video right now. And you're going to see this video long before you're going to see this February feature video. Here are the finished prints. Phantump came out perfectly and he was finished by hand painting. I glued the leaves and the tail on. Abra was a bit of a problem. This is the second print of the Abra that I created, as the first one had some major issues with support removal, so I had to scrap it. It's still not perfect, but looks okay overall. The tail was glued in to secure it. Mimic You came out almost perfect except for the tail. I made 4 versions and the tail snapped off on all of them, so I ended up gluing it on. The bobblehead Pikachu was perfect with 0 issues. I secured the tail with glue. Look for a bobblehead video coming soon featuring all of Megil's Pokemon bobblehead Pokemon. The Mega Steelix came out perfectly as well. The transparent crystals look amazing. I did not color him by hand since he came out looking pretty good as is. So last we have the Stone Dragon here. I made a big mistake by using supports. He is basically garbage as the supports are impossible to remove. Printing him with no supports is definitely the way to go. Other than the issues with the supports, he did come out perfect though. And that's everything. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Please remember to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, it's greatly appreciated. Thank you all again for watching. MikeBot out.
watching my body.